everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will explain to you how to make a very stylish bag, the model of which belongs to a famous brand. It is so easy to make that it consists of only 2 motifs. I am sure that even those who start knitting for the first time can make this type of bag very easily. Before moving on to our detailed recipe, I would like to make a small request from you. I would be really happy if you subscribe to our channel for free, like the video, and leave your comments. I enjoyed it very much while working. I hope you like it and try it too. Let's move on to our recipe. I use spaghetti yarn slim cotton yarn for my bag. Its blend is 80% cotton, 20% polyester, weighs 100 grams, is 170 meters long. Spaghetti yarn slim cotton yarn also has a thinner yarn of 50 grams. I use the 100 gram version with 12 layers thickness. The 50 gram one is 8 layers thick. It is useful to say this at the beginning. I will use 2 colors. If you wish, you can easily make this bag with different motifs that you know, rather than a heart-shaped motif. It doesn't have to be a heart. You can easily use different motifs or a single color. I want to show the texture of our rope closely. In this way, my crochet number will be 4 millimeters. You can determine your crochet number according to the thinness and thickness of your yarn, the tightness and looseness of your knitting. First, we start by making a magic ring. If there are beginners among us, I have previously shared a detailed video on how to make a magic ring. I will add the link to the description section of our video. You can access it by clicking below. After creating our magic ring, we draw 1, 2, or 3 chains. We wrap it around the head of our crochet hook. We consider these 3 chains as one handrail. We remove the loop by sinking into the magic ring. We have 3 loops. We got around, we circled the 2 together again. We created a double handrail by knitting the 2 together. We knit another double handrail by wrapping it around the head of our crochet hook again and sinking into the magic ring. We have a chain in between. We knit 3 double handrails by wrapping them around the head of our hook and sinking into the magic ring again. If you think I did it too fast, you can slow down the video or conversely speed it up. After 3 handrails, we pull a chain again and weave 3 double handrails into our magic ring. We draw a chain again and weave 3 double handrails by sinking into the magic ring. There will be 3 double handrail points, 4 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we knit the short rope remaining from the magic ring until we can pull it. We are shooting. We also have a chain in the corners. While finishing, we wrap it around the head of our crochet hook and insert it into the first, second, third chain at the beginning. Since we wanted to knit by hiding the short remaining yarn, we took it on our crochet hook. We make a loop from this point. We have 3 stitches we got around. Look, there is no chain. We have 3 stitches. We collect them all at once. We finished with the single handrail. Now we go up again by pulling 3 chains, and here the space where we made the single handrail gives us a corner space for 1 chain. We come to this space and knit a double handrail. We knit the second clay handrail by sinking into the same space again. There is no chain in between. We only have a chain at the corner increasing points. Why did I do this? I didn't want there to be a gap. If you wish, you can also draw a chain in between. There can be 2 chains in the corners. There can be a chain in between. You can adjust this according to the thinness and thickness of your rope. But since I don't like too much space in the bag, I didn't draw a chain in between. We only have a chain in the corners at the increasing points. We fill the beginning of our crochet hook and knit 3 double handrails by sinking directly into a chain space after the handrail point. 1, 2, and 3. Since it is an increasing corner, we come back to the same space by pulling a chain and knit 3 double handrails. There are no chains or anything after the banister. By wrapping it directly around the head of our crochet hook, it sinks into the space of a chain length. We knit 3 double handrails, 1 chain sinking into the same space, and we knit 3 double handrails again. We create our corners in this way and move forward to the point where we first started. We have come to the end of our row. After increasing this corner, we make the single handrail that we started by wrapping it around the beginning of our knitting needle. 3 chains sink into the space where there are 2 handrails. We knit 3 double handrails at this point. We'll do the same ending again. We wrap it directly around the head of our hook and sink into the 3rd chain at the beginning. We made a loop. We have 3 stitches. We got around. We collect all 3 at once. We go up again by pulling 3 chains. We will accept a handrail for these 3 chains. We start by making 2 double handrails in this space. While making the second handrail, we knit the first 2 stitches. 2 stitches remain on the hook. Now we will make a color transition at this point. For this, I immediately take my orange color after leaving a little short thread. I wrapped my orange color around my hook, passed it through the remaining 2 stitches. I gather the loosened stitches like this, wrap them around the head of my hook. Now I sink into the wide gap between the 2 handrails. I sink into the wide gap between the 2 handrails and keep the short threads on the hook. At this point we will hide it inside. We will knit a triple handrail here, We will knit a double handrail. We have 3 second handrails. We will make a color transition while knitting the 3rd handrail. We do not close the 2 stitches. I take my orange color to the back like this. I take my pink color now. I wrap my pink color around the head of my hook and pass it through the first 2 stitches here. I wrapped it again, and we will knit by hiding the threads. Now we have come to a 1 chain space. In this 1 chain space, 3 double handrails. We have a chain in between. We knit our 3 double handrails again in the same space. Afterwards, I wrap it around the head of my crochet hook and continue knitting, hiding the orange thread in the meantime. We've hidden that short rope long enough, I leave it here. We continue to hide the longer rope. I wrapped it again. I sink into the wide gap between the banisters. There is no chain gap at this point. We are knitting 3 double handrails. We are knitting the first 2 stitches and the 3rd with our pink color. Our remaining 2 stitches are waiting. We put the pink color on the back side and close these 2 stitches by taking our orange color on our crochet. Now we fill the beginning of our crochet with our orange color. Look, we continue to hide the pink color again, and we carry it by sinking into the gap of a chain length. There are 3 double handrails and a chain in between. We knit 3 double handrails by sinking into the same gap again. We will make a color transition in the 3rd one. I take my pink color to the back, take the crochet hook and close these 2 stitches. I wrap it around the beginning again and knit 3 double handrails by sinking into the wide gap between the handrails. I knit 2 with my pink color, waiting for a stitch. I took it to the pink back. Look, we are making color transitions like this. Now we are increasing with orange, as in this corner. We came to a gap of 1 chain, 3 handrails, 1 chain. We knit 3 double handrails in the same space again. In the 3rd one, we make a color transition. We moved the orange to the back. We took our pink crochet hook and closed our stitch. Now we are knitting again by sinking into the wide gap between the banisters. We knit 3 double handrails with our pink color. We have come to the end point. We had a single handrail at this point. We finished by knitting 3 double handrails at this point. Meanwhile, I continue to hide the rope. While finishing, we again fill the beginning of the crochet hook. We sink into the 1st, 2nd, 3rd chain at the beginning. Here we continue by keeping the orange color on the crochet. We remove a stitch. We have 3 stitches. We wrap them. We collect 3 of them at once. Look, we have completed our 3rd row in this way. Now we are starting our 4th row. We start again in pink color. We went up with 3 chains. We come to the same space and knit 2 double handrails. Now we keep 2 stitches waiting while we knit the 2nd handrail here. We took it to the back and made this transition to our orange color. We closed the 1st stitch and wrapped it. Now we are here. Look, we have 3 handrail points that we knitted with pink, and there is a point where you hide this rope. I hold this rope up like this. Immediately create 3 double handrails with orange. We see that we wrapped it around again. Now we had a handrail point with 3 oranges here. Look, by moving the ropes up. 3 double handrails again to this point. We knit. We will make a color transition on the 3rd handrail. Thirdly, we changed our color. When we come to the corner 1 chain space, 3 double handrails. Every once in a while we knit 3 double handrails in the same space again. Look, this time we have 2 orange dots. Now we continue knitting by hiding the orange thread. I'm sinking between the railing points here. Look, I'm sinking between two pink ones and I'm knitting 3 handrails with pink. Thirdly, I make a color transition. I took the pink one in the back. I covered the banister with orange. Look at this point by wrapping it around the beginning of the hook. We will knit this point normally from now on. We sink into the gaps between the banisters, 3 handrails. We have come to the corner increase point. We knit 3 double handrails in this one chain space. There is a chain in between, 3 double handrails in the same space. I'm going through these points a little quickly because we already know how to knit a banister. I would like to share with you only the color transitions of the classic square motif here. Now here we will continue with completely orange. We will also hide the pink rope because we will finish here with pink. Look here, there is an orange rope left in between. I'm moving this up too. See it this way. Don't let the thread stand out like that. 3 handrails immediately into this space. I fill it directly. There are no chains between them. We only have 1 chain space in the corners. Look at it again like this. I fill 3 of our banisters. We knit, we wrap it around, we come to a gap of 1 chain. In this gap there are 3 double crochets, a chain, 3 double crochets. I'm going through the points quickly as I said. Now look here, we will make an increase point and we will knit pink. At this point then we will have nothing to do with pink anymore. Let's continue to the next point 3. We are knitting the banister, and in the 3rd step we will make a color transition. We switch to pink. The last point here is 3 double handrails. When we come to the space where the last single handrail is, we will knit 3 handrails. We will finish with a single handrail. We sink into the 3rd chain at the beginning. Here we removed a loop with pink. We have 3 stitches. Now we are switching to orange color. We gathered 3 stitches at once by wrapping them around the head of our hook. When we look at it this way, let's make sure to level it by doing 2, 3. This is how we gave the heart shape. From now on we will continue knitting entirely with orange. We draw 1, 2, 3 chains by sinking to the point where the single handrail is located. I'm going to hide 2 handrails, a little pink here. Then I'll let go of my yarn. I immediately sink into the wide gap after the triple handrail and knit a triple handrail again. I jump to the triple handrail again and sink into the intersecting space in between and knit 3 handrails. I've hidden the pink color here enough. Here I cut my yarn and take out my pink color, and then I continue. I'm knitting triple handrails. When I reach the corner, there are 3 double handrails. I knit 3 double handrails in a chain again in the same gap. Then I skip 3 handrails again and knit 3 more handrails by sinking into the wide gap between the triple handrails. Now I will continue knitting my classic motif. This is how I will complete my turn. Endings and beginnings are always the same. Look, here's a row. After knitting it completely with orange, we will move on to the banister row. We have reached the end of our orange row. We knitted 3 handrails on the last single handrail. We wrap it around the head of our hook and sink into the 3rd chain. We made a loop. We collect all 3 at once and finish with a single handrail. We go up again with 3 chains. We come to the same space and knit 2 double handrails. By wrapping it around the head of our crochet hook, there was a space of 3 chains here. We make a double handrail by sinking into the 3rd chain again. The next one sinks into the 1st handrail, and again double handrail. Now we continue by knitting a double handrail in each handrail gap. We don't have any chains in between. We weave double handrails by sinking once at the top of each handrail. We come to the corner point. Again we make a corner turn by making 3 handrails, a chain, and 3 handrails. Look, we're knitting 1 for each, just like here. We continue the same corner by knitting a chain of 3 handrails and 3 handrails. Then we make sure to sink to the top of the 1st handrail. We knit our handrails in turn and increase the corners and complete this row in this way. We have come to the end of our row of handrails. We have knitted our triple handrail. In our last gap, we wrap it around the beginning of the crochet into the third chain and sink. We finish again with a single handrail. We draw a chain. We start with a single crochet in this space, one single needle in the chain, sinking right at the top of the first handrail, and one single needle in this way. By sinking directly into each handrail, removing the stitch and gathering the 2 stitches, we make our single needles in this way. When we reach the corner point we will have knitted 2 single needles in this corner. We knit 1 single crochet at each point and 2 single crochets in the corners, and complete the row in this way until the end. We have come to the end. We started with 1 single crochet. We knit a single needle at the point where this single handrail is located. Now we're going to leave our rope a little longer here. The original bag had 1 row of thicker needles. Since this size was enough for me, I did not knit another row of needles. If you wish, you can knit 1 more row of single crochet around it. I would also like to give you the dimensions of our bag. Our motif is 17 centimeters. Now after knitting the last single crochet here, we need enough yarn to assemble our bag and sew it. We leave. After we have cut our thread sufficiently, look at our stitch directly after the single crochet. I'm taking off our rope. Here I use a Nettoman needle after the single needle to sew. Here we will first close this gap. Here, after knitting the last single crochet, we pierce the top of the second single crochet, not the first single crochet. We pass our rope from here. Afterwards, we pass this thread through the back line and back single wing of the last single crochet we knitted. This is how we do the merging. Now we close the 2 motifs with the wrong parts facing each other, and we will start sewing. Look, the heart parts will be like this. We start from this part. We will combine it in a U shape. The mouth of our bag will remain open this way. Let's start from where our rope is. Look here, the second single crochet. I'm going to dive into the incoming single crochet right here. We perform our stitching by inserting mutual frequent needles. I will make a connection at the same point again so that it will be solid. We sew it as if we were sewing something normal. We sink into our mutual motif with frequent needles. And this is how we perform our stitching. We will sink once at each point. In the corners, we stitch each other in this way by inserting each single needle once. We have reached the corner point here. The mouth of our bag is open. Now we will make the handle part. At this point, I didn't lose my grip, because when connecting the handle to this point, we will connect it again with this sewing needle. I almost never leave a short rope. I will leave a long rope at the other end point. I'll link this short one at this point. In the other part, we will connect the other end. Now we will draw enough chains. You can chain however long you want your handle to be. I won't count that. I adjust this by eye. Now I'm stretching my chain long enough. After we extend our chain long enough, we will use the back part of our chain, not the straight part. We will use the back slash line. We leave the last chain here. We remove the loop by sinking into the back cut line of the previous chain. We have 2 stitches and wrap them around. We knit single needle. We sink into the back cut line of the next chain. We remove the stitch and knitted single needle. While knitting our single needles, we knit our single needles by sinking into the back cut line and continue in this way until the first chain we started with. In this way, we will create our handle. When we do this, look, both the beginning part and the end part appear identically. We get a beautiful image. Now let's finish our handle like this. Afterwards, we move on to assembling our bag. This is how we completed our bag. I hope you like it and try it too. I wish good luck to those who will do it. Don't forget to like our video, leave a comment and subscribe to our channel. Goodbye until we see you in the next video.